In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off on the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage?
Source Hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone. Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius.
Just hold your tongue with you, Bibius. Can't be too careful.
So, you're sorcerers, are you?
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Agreed. A wizard.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city. What the hell just happened down there? Orcs? Bloody orcs? Come, let's go back to the village. The sorcerers know their
This is the end! For you! Die, vermin! Death is its own deliverance!
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend.
Did you see that? Those orcs had a human commander.
Where are Bibius and Junius? Didn't they hear
How
the
very
fight?
disquieting.
What's all this ruckus? Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. You're as welcome as a glass of so you were and so you weren't. There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so. Now, it's hard to put Captain Aureus, though. The local commander of the Legion insists I'm seeing ghosts. So there are. Or rather, she seems a likely candidate. Still, don't simply... Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. I'm glad we've met, Source. Once you're there, just... And with that,
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus car collection?
Moo-wee! Moo-wee! Moo-wee!
we'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captains will now be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. You can see security's tight. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, I certainly hope you know what you're doing, Source Hunter. Right?
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example has inspired me to reach heights I never before envisioned.
That inspiration hardly flows one way, my friend.
indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant
Come now! I'll be good for it, I swear! I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times, but what choice have I got now? So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. You're a hungry man, you know.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you... No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an Mendius at your service. What is my profession? They call the undead... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become...
Of course I do.
Quite right.
See here.
Well, I can't say that I haven't.
Yes.
Indeed. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety?
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be served than to serve.
Well spoken. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door. Ah, the few like nothing more than to... What a... Now then, of course, by now, work hard. Fulfill contract. Of course, of course.
This Fabulous 5 business sounds too good to be true. I'm going to pass.
Agreed. You came on a little bit too strongly there, but...
Oh, how frightfully disappointing. Ah, you return. They call the undead a...
Oh, you think you can speak that way?
Stop right there. Until you've received the captain's permission to enter, this door doesn't exist. Got it?
Sort of concerns myself with such things.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does, can I tell you? How curious of...
Oh, my good man. Drink if you please.
Please do keep
I need a moment to reflect. What good is a source hunter without a healthy sense of self? It takes a strong eye to face the powers of darkness, after all.
Sort of hunter's edge.
So you're just hanging around here.
A happy source hunter means a job well done. By serving ourselves, we serve the realm.
The likes of which I doubt you could even fathom,
Well, so
old
fast as
friend.
saying I've got my eye off you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato-eating peasant.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
To leave the city is to venture
How
into
can the
danger.
Legion serve you today, Source Hunt?
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face, Furious! She bit me in the face!
Look on the bright...
Hey, who's that then? Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the Source Hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to...
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Those boots are embarrassed at Bridgestone. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll likely come in handy if we can trust her.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Stew, again!
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
You say you will take me under your wing, but I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears? In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized. I am happy to have a friend in such a place. And so the lonely babe was fed upon the wise godwolf Amira raised the child Threes among her little. Ask freely, my friend. Your city is far more wild than Home Forest. In Home Forest, the rules are clear. Here, a tiny Jarrett, wise Jarrett, taught me the bird songs of our people. If not for him, a beast's life is to survive. A human's is to know. I am both beast and human. I have learned all the birds. The remembering of the beast. We do not. It is different between beasts. He came to me when he called Jarrett, visited. Jarrett is my master. I heard this, but I have not found the face I seek. I heard this was but I have not found the face. That mystery I watched the next morning. He was kidnapped. I do not know the one called Attenbera.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention! About face! To the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Attention!
A bold beast! What have we here, then? The so-called source hunter, eh? Well, gods above! Nevertheless, the scene of the crime is over at Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, what? You're going to stand there and... I'm Captain Aureus. If you Bravo! How am I enjoying... We are the pride of... I'd say...
How can I help you, my friend? But certainly. Oh, I am. But my task, you see, to my great Oh, but that's such to be out. But of course it's handy. Oh, that I'm my own wizard, you know. By all means. Of course. I can but pieced, they say. I say, man. It took a while. How and why he came. I myself. Now it may well. Strangers. And yet, I don't know quite what to make of this news. But...
Quiet! No talking to these scoundrels,
Source Hunter. I have heard tales both in Home Forest. Every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, but it is difficult for me to... It is strange. Just...
Those folks are in barracks at Bridge Troll. Get to sight.
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, yes. Discovered anything?
The gross! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! The gross! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? I am Esmeralda. Like I told just about every legionnaire in town, I don't know anything about poor Jake's murder. I want his killer found and tried. So what happened? Some of them tittle-tattling crab chasers down the pub call me a murderous gold digger and you believe them? These insinuations truly go beyond the pale. Oh. Well, what do you want to know? Since the beginning, this has been a particularly They came out of nowhere. The hunter returns! I hope you are here. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence. I am Esmeralda. What? The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're gonna accuse me of something, you...
Leave me be, I have a job to do.
Not in the mood for tea.
Stop right there. And not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the...
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible! By the quill that lasts a billion words. Oh, yes. Proper introductions. As for how I got here, how you got here on such a tiny and... at last a question I can answer most definitively. Time ought naturally to have no end. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens.
Quite mad.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's quite sprung to you, dear stranger. You. Those torches. A light. This portal active once more. It can... Goodness me, how it is. I can't say for sure. It's not that they are, in fact. But why spoil? After you.
And he's off. Seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he hoped to find.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that are...
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many...
You have brought guests,
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated...
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? A stone? So, not like this, no. What happened to you is you never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be...
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and Starstone is not what it seems, source hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores to—
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the— If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must.
Why, of course.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire—
That shall never please our most...
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
What do you think, Source Hunter?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it—
No matter how improbable, anything is possible.
What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
How welcome you are upon this realm. In the ethereal threads of eternity, to the drift of Except, it seems, ask and I shall answer. I am the weaver of time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one, I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both. Perhaps we are one. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. A hidden answer lies. I believe that Starstones will not lead. Oh, Hunter. I have no need for company. Like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but I reside in another realm altogether. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terror. But suddenly there was you. You, new threads emerged. These stars.
What just happened? Lightning strike!
The glint in your gaze? No, with you, but you'll need luckily. Off you go then. You've Starstone to find, and I'll cross my heart, hope, like the imp said to the ballista operator, wouldn't it just? Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign in ruins, caves. Neither do I. But the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the weave, this in turn, we may not understand the how yet, but our aim. Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se. But of course, so gather those Starstones. Lonesome? Well, yes, perhaps you can. Before you go, I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he. Good to see you on the shelter plane. A home away from home, is it not?
How might I serve our mission?
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent and I'll be delighted to give it. Dark. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of that means the task you have been given remains. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with him. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere sliver. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? But perhaps I speak only for myself. Not for veterans such as yourselves but like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes. So I told. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, all that I understand, all that is happening here and out there among the stars. But I do. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I. Oh, before you go, here. take this teleporter pyramid. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer.
Gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that hot... Out! No! If you soaks please! and flowers stink much longer, deer will smell this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve. Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you! What are you still doing here? Begone! You there! Cut it out! Out! Now, if you please! This room is...
Oh, where is my pepper? Did it sprout legs and run away? Ah, yeah.
Oh, I could do with a cold drink.
Oh, still not finished with my... Have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, let's have it. Oh, if you must.
How can I help you, my friend? What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on Maxine. What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one, by all means. I can't say much more, but that... Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. It might be a bit late to inspect the body, in that it has already been buried. I myself have none. even though the rest of the town has already meant... Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I'm not clear...
Sorry, sir.
You think that's funny, driver? Sir, no, sir.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you. Hunter returns. I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes, nothing more. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare. Listen, if you're gonna accuse me of something, you would... Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, my lady. We Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares?
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orc. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get... What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the third degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to run a business... So, what's the bad news? More orc... What about it? So, what's the sad story? I just concern myself with giving... This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Cyseal itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless. What about it? Didn't I just say we...
How the coast reminds me of my long fled youth. I sailed the sea. I walked the worlds.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Rest in peace, darling.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Rest in peace, darling. Peace be with you, traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace. I once lived a Prosloni, never recovered. She was killed less than a week after she joined.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
In memory of Loni, death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Cyseal pie in the afterlife? Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
So, Tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the lead? The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence to back... Well, what do you want to know? They came out of nowhere. Say so. The hunter returns!
Well, hello there.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
You there! Cut out!
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
I'm straight. I'm true. Aaron's by the cousins.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more home than the size of this pie.
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
Let's see. Halibut? You're right. It doesn't. Sometimes I get a little overzealous while I'm on the job.
Happens to the best of us. More than a few temptations accompany authority, no?
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Heavenly herring! Delicious
Ah,
dogfish!
hello, proportionate. I'm a painter. I trap. How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
Eat a big cheese on your block with a
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
What are ye staring at?
Tall snake,
Captain Jack's the name. Though, go scuck.
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the oceans. I listened in while you were talking to that would-be Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you...
Hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what?
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, my elf? Oh, myself. I am Cecil. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Cicey, the undead of... That's not to mention... And, Jake, murdered? Oh, yes, most of the townsfolk, as you can imagine. I'm an all-right bloke. What? The what of what now? Ah, Cecil proved an old fool, though. His name is Conrad. The staff, it's... Well, Oh, this is nonsense. That depends. Ah, marvelous. Follow me, then. What? Oh, yes. This library is my Victoria. Yes. What? Oh.
Omnes autem mali demonis quam. What? What is this? Oh, but perhaps no. Why? Simply no. This is a sentiment on one can...
place this book here? A volume of poetry?
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
Agreed. Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying. I see you off.
A source hunter? Me? Oh, it's always been, for my part, that band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, Esmeralda does have a...
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or... The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? What about...
May the seven keep you.
Peace be with you, traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace.
Seven keep you. May the seven keep you. May the seven keep you.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Rest in peace, darling.
That shovel has proven worth its weight, it seems.
May the Seven keep you.
Indeed. And who knows what manner of riches we'll unearth together with this tried and true treasure digger.
Enough to finish this mission with a long vacation in the tropics, gazing side by side at a burgundy horizon. If...
This dog we met, how true a creature he is. How loyal and unwavering in its affections. Animals, dog and deer, this kind, this trusty beast. He is man's best friend, though man does not deserve one. You are human, all too human, and you place trust in your fellows. I know. In the animal kingdom, this dog, it is a creature worthy of your affection.
Feel the burns.
May the Seven
An
keep you.
invigorating fight that was. And what a killing blow you delivered.
Cheers! Yes, I handled myself like the best of the best, even if I do say so myself.
No need for false modesty where none is needed. You're a...
Here lies David, who ran from the Reaper. You'll never catch me alive.
May the Seven keep you.
Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife? Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
Rest in peace, darling.
Spirits of shadow, conceal me!
May the Seven keep you. seven keep you. May the seven keep you. May the seven keep you.
I feel cold inside my soul. Bane of it.
So, what's the bad news? A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such... I suppose you're right. At least if I tell you myself, you'll hear the proper account of things. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlour, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden. My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury some... Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights, wondering who could have wanted that cadaver, and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer. Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young and this may or may not have any. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shake in all this, did she? Here, take the money and give it to her. Times are hard enough as they are.
Sightseeing isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
What? Oh, it's you! What news? Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time. What? Oh, it's you! What? You there! Cut it out!
Officer, you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, dearest. I'm just doing my duty.
Move along.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But so fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. Steadfast will I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. But never shall I lose heart. Long as Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. And what questions are those? The Sicilians used to... I can tell you one thing about the
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're gonna accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence to back up your ridiculous...
Sorry, sir.
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour. Yes. Discovered any... Have you found any incriminating evidence against her? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is. Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sice. He has a lot to answer for. But not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. You suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart, you dolt. A murder indeed. Evelyn? Master Theriron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide-and-seek with stiffs to me. You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Ah! Oh, what now? Whom would you have the Legion arrest?
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. By all means. I can't say much more, but that they're mad. Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. His body is gone, replaced with that of a sheep. This is all very disconcerting, to say the least. It seems too improbable to be true, but I can but piece together what they say. A woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon joined by a man who had been nursing the same cup of wine for hours. I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another figure arrived, headed for the same room. Soon after, a terrible commotion erupted and the thundering light of magic was witnessed by the few remaining patrons. It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. When finally he did, he found Jake there, dead. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. but I had a good look around the scene of the crime before the Legion barred anyone from entering. The traces of magic I felt were vile. I myself have none. Even though the rest of the town... Now, it may well be established that she is in fact the guilty party.
Attention! About face! To the barracks! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Those troops will embarrass the bridge folk. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir. Fancy that! A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully dressed. Who could have fathomed such a thing? Oh, fancy that! A source hunter barging in when the lady of the house is fully...
Interesting devices, these pygmies among pyramids. They made you do well to treat them with the utmost care. Perhaps it would even be for the best if you sling them into the reaches of infinity that surround the shelter plane. Better safe than sorry. It is an uncommonly trite thing to say, but it applies to all things demon-dreamt and devised. So I shall. Always remember, Hunter, always, that when demons, the very moment you're dueling with demon...
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, you know, that.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us? Well,
Tell me,
Alistair.
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. And Alistair, what do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never... Why? And don't forget, I'm the most... Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a chat with Mendius outside. He's in charge of... A word of warning, though, we only... Those not...
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but, and my word, what I've got 1,000 throats. When the day comes, I can take, but then, that I have. I believe I have, yes. You must already refuse to join, but darling, didn't you, how can we, away from me now, oh pup.
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossip. Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his...
Now, I wonder where that cagey Baron of Pharaoh sneaked off.
It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Counselor and I were anything near allies.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Ah, you return and humble me with your presence. Such a pleasure. Nay, honor. Who? Tom? Doesn't ring a bell. Mendius, at your service. They call... Ah, you return and humble me with your presence.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths, but Medora's the name. Retire. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And see, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. There's been an attack there. What they want in Hunter, I came south seeking the Legion's help. By the skin of my teeth, I managed to wrench free of my... Well, comrade, I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, but it seems you've got all the help you need, haven't you? More than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark magic running roughshod. There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one, and the mysteries of our master Thalron, for... And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every hearth and shack. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the mayor's a decent sort, even if he can't hear farther than the tip of his own nose. But from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's gotten himself mixed up in something not... I suspect an illegal sauce, artifact, or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's giving it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Sicil, I don't have... Fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something darker and splints, and a loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on two. Hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade? Their kind can see in the dark. I'll tell you, Hunter's greetings. So, have you changed your mind about venturing forth, shield to shield, against the sauce menace?
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met...
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Oh, thank you to leave me be, you old bat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us? Well, like I said, I've got my eye on you down.
Excuses more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for bars potatoes.
So, which of you is more deserving of life?
I've spotted something.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized.
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right. Let's get digging.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at...
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find something worthwhile.
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
The closest I've got.
Where are the good stuff?
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Slice them, stir and churn.
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite.
No, that would be an insult to the dead.
And a disgrace to whomever is maintaining.
You step away from the grave.
I need a moment to reflect. Compassion is the true heart of our mission, and a banner I'm glad to fight for.
With each such display of empathy, I find myself...
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2,
Oh, a source hunter.
No matter. Me? It was I who cured.
Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has... Yes.
If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasts, well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical... I expect you'll be a very successful healer in her... Certainly, what would you like to know? The counselor. Terrible loss, that. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife... I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't... I declare it...
Healing stone. Interesting
So,
indeed.
which of you is more deserving?
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Sicile is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. You are? I thank you a million times for your help.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Tenderfoot so long.
Yes, Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man.
Thank the seven.
No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning?
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell. I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend. I feel no pleasure in bidding
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone, I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction. I've been studying under Theliron. I've a passion for this work, you see. Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew the man in life. I was shocked when Ahu asked me to come to the crime scene. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. A single intricate laceration wove like lace around every inch of his skin. Neither a beginning nor an ending point were discernible. I examined the corpse and recorded what information I could. I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as I know, everything was, as far as a magical murder is concerned, quite normal. Hello again. Terribly sorry, Source Hunter, but I see that strange reaction you caused.
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
Can't say I didn't want to live. Wanted it with every fiber of my heart. Not just for my own sake, but for my family, you know.
Enjoy what remains of your life, will you? Never know when it'll...
But I'm beyond grateful. I'm feeling stronger already. 1,000 thanks to you. What will I do? What won't I do? Seeing how short life can be. How easily it can be taken from you. And after I've climbed every mountain, I'll see you around then.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter?
Stones for both of us.
The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his piece. Thank you for your help in this matter. Me? It was I who cured the Dutch. Not to mention that it's been my guidance. Yes. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to off. Well, I expect she'll be a very successful healer in... Certainly, what would you like to know? The counselor, from what I can tell, it seems to be a
Sorry, friend. I wish there were enough stone.
Hidden between darkness and light.
She's got a lair on the beach, does she? Perhaps that's where she stashed Jake's body.
milk. I give wool, and what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh.
Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now. He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear.
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case.
Like a
Feeling
cake.
hot
To
under
leave
the
the city
collar.
is to venture into danger. Be careful, Source Hunter.
I'm
building
sure
groups will never get inside these walls.
Excellent. Let's keep it that way.
mercy on your soul.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend?
That creature there looks like it'd like to play fetch with our femurs.
Is that a...
My kingdom for a dry shot!
Awaits you.
darling!
Mercy me. It walks. But it's not. The name's Wolfram. Not that I reckon my chances are. I'll never make.
You don't have time for this nonsense. You can fend for yourself.
Quite so. It's the Legion's job to protect...
You heartless cur! Off with you if you won't help.
Did someone leave an oven door open? Baking like a cake.
Flesh and blood, heart of fire, beckons! Keep your demise! I hear your burning legions falls!
Devours me.
Feeling hot under the collar.
Source Hunter. I saw something before I was caged by the scream, yet he seemed no weaker than the other townsfolk. He was not sick or old. How can it be that he cannot hunt his own food? I can understand such a thing. It is rare that a bear would offer a killing to a stranger in need, however. It's...
I could do with a cold drink.
The rabbit gives you a forlorn look. It seems as if it wants to speak to you. But the rabbit nods and points to the northeast. The cat that got its tongue must have wandered off in that direction.
It is spectacular indeed to behold how quickly your powers grow. There is a superhuman... Do continue to pursue the... Forswear the pitfalls of morality. Forswear both good and evil. The promises of duty and ambition. Let power be the end of... And there we have it. The weak-mindedness that like a cat... Know ye then, weak this purpose so.
Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
Oh, how nice to meet your acquaintance. We rats may be small, but that makes it all the easier to keep our ears to the ground. Friendly-wise, I'd say we rodents are the best friends an adventurer can make.
I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
This seems to be broken.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Sure worked that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long. Careful, I've spotted a trap. Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself. This? I found something. I've spotted something interesting.
What's this I've spotted? What's that? I think there are hidden foes ahead.
Death is at hand!
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool in life? I toiled, took care. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha! Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Run if you like, Defiler. Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
It's locked.
Locked?
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
This seems to be broken.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
That is, how can I help you, my friend?
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
Sorry, pal, but not a soul's permitted to disturb the enlightened one.
1, 2, 3, stun!
Face the unending darkness. Mentioned in Evelyn's diary.
It looks like it.
Excuse me, you're standing just exactly in my sun. Me? Oh, they say a sorcerer's sauce murder. Cecile. Oh, I don't... most certainly, though I haven't practiced in quite a few years. Oh, you're giving me a strange sort of look.
It should be our duty to end your wicked life. But you seem just so...
Agreed. Abstain from sorcery, and you'll have no problem with the likes of us.
Oh, Source Hunter, are you? Ah. Aren't Source Hunters supposed to be a bit... Go on, then. Read the spell, my friend? We who step through yonder gate the hunters hate, eh? Doesn't sound like your sort of crowd, does it?
Have you any counselors' corpses lying around, perchance?
No, don't push me, Source Hunter. I'd like to go back to enjoying the sun, eh? And I'm sure you'd like to go back to... Trust me, there's nothing in... Oh, do you really need me to get into the tiresome details? There are some... people inside. I was given a bit of gold to keep people, that's you, out. So that's what I do. We needn't make this any more complicated. Oh, brown hair, nasty temper, big staff, huh? I suppose she's the one who tasked me with this little posting. She's always running. Friend of yours? You aren't planning on going where you ought not to go, are you? Well, there's no need to use that sort of language. Still, I must insist there's nothing in that cave worth your notice. Do you think I'm enjoying this little exchange? I'll back off when you do, my friend. Oh, I'm getting too old for this sort of blustering. Fine, do as you wish. And if anyone asks how you got in, tell them...
Here? I've got seven.
Have mercy on your soul.
Come on then, open the door. Oi! Is you the one what locked this here gate? We need to speak to Evelyn. Well, myself, I need a hand choosing drapes for me kitchen windows. Are you daft? But since my lady seems to have... Can't you recognise a fellow immaculate when you see one? Just 'cause I got twice your strength in my little toe, don't mean we ain't equal in the goddess's eyes. I reckon if you don't already know, that may be above your pay grade. Take it up with Evelyn, why don't you? Or, better yet, have a look for yourself. You seem like just the type those pirates would love to get their hands on. Is that right, small bones? Maybe you can give me a single good reason for I rip your arms out. Fair enough, small bones, fair enough. Let the good lady know we look forward to meeting with her, will ya?
My friend, we have done it! The secret lair of Evelyn is before us at...
These fellows are so focused on their work, they seem to be impervious to any other distractions.
Even the hollering of orcs couldn't shake them out of their strange stupor.
I saw you, didn't I?
Die, vermin!
I can hardly... Who goes
anyone
there? I think I should rest. Who goes there? In the name of the conduit! Lightning strike!
Your grave opens to welcome you.
stupidity, Evelyn. Look over there. Your foolish games have brought source hunters into our very midst. I have no time for these distractions. Brachus Rex's resurrection is at hand. Deal with these insects and join.
Of course, O Holy Conduit. I will deal with them.
See to it that
You! Your stomping through my affairs has cost me dearly. More dearly than you'll ever know. What a pleasure it will be to see the Source shred your every last sinew. That wretch is but a thrall, a tool, but the Conduit trusted him. I was determined to find out why, and resurrected him. His unwillingness to cooperate has proven something of an annoyance, but no matter. We're nearly through, aren't we, Jake? Just a little more pain. You mean my bloodstone, I suppose? Ha! It was named like that for a reason, Source Hunter. I'll put it simply. We start with Starstone. A pretty gem, but hardly special. It contains a potential, though, known only to the enlightened few. If imbued with blood, Starstone contains the power to heal. A life given to the stone is a life one can give to another. To save a great life must be sacrificed. This is what the Conduit has taught us. She is our leader. Leandra is her name. But no, you are not worthy of such knowledge. The bird does not explain to the worm why it devours it. Yes, a sorcerer, disciple of blood, chaser of life everlasting. For a true sorcerer, death is but an inconvenience to rid. Brachus Rex, centuries in his grave, will walk again, healthy as he was the greatest sorcerer ever to have lived. His power outmatches us all. The secrets he will aid us in our task, Hunter. Considering the imminent turn of the tide, Source Hunter, you should trust me when I say you're better off dead. Brachus...
The Source Hunter. Dear dead heaven told me you had landed in Sicil, drawn to my source little corpse like flies to excrement. Well, here I am. A man no longer, a monster instead, and the very same. Jake, counselor by day, sorcerer by night, martyr in death. Me? Do you contest it, huh? You presumptuous dog. I died serving the conduit. Leandra! Oh, blessed conduit. But it wasn't to be. I was stuck down in the prime of my sorcery. And by whom? Leandra's own sister. The pox upon her. I, Ikara! I spit on every syllable. They call her the White Witch. She is powerful in her own right. But never would I have thought she'd challenge her sister Leandra and kill one of the most loyal. Me! Very little indeed. What concern was that foul woman of mine? White Witch, perhaps, but black sheep of her family, too. She shunned her sister's teachings,
Can you believe that? She could have been the very conduit's right hand, but she shunned her. Oh, take vengeance upon her, blessed Leandra. I invoke you. Open her veins, bleed her dry. Give her a function at last. Yes, yes. The king is dead, and not for long. For Brackus Rex has no equal, Hunter. His knowledge of the source is absolute, and through him so the hour is nigh. You do not realize it yet, but his axe is falling towards your scrawny neck. My murder, a tale of woe. The time, a misty midnight. The place, the King Crab Inn. The players, myself, the conduit was there to meet with this stranger, and had tasked me to stand ready to overpower him if necessary. I heard sounds of passion at first, but later of angry argument. Then I heard Leandra's command. She swerved past me and, oh, I can still feel the rasp of her holy breath upon my ear. Whispered, "Finish him." The man lay on the floor, struck down and ready for my knife, which I plunged deep it. But not a moment later, Ikara burst through the window, and I was defenseless. She savagely tore my life from my body, and I died in the glow of the source. A holy martyr, slay foolish grasper. She who thought herself the conduit's favorite couldn't stand that I had been privileged as a confidant. When she realized the conduit had been in the inn the night I was killed, she couldn't stand to think that I had been trusted where she had not. She brought me back to unlife so that I would reveal what I knew. She wanted to work her way back into the conduit's confidence. But as you saw, Leandra had no interest in Evelyn's petty tricks, and I am of little use to Leandra's cause now. My worm-eaten grind is an insult to her perfection. To my grave, then, I will go. I suppose you'll not grudge me my portion of rest.
Bold as Brachus Rex was he, though only half as holy. The Source King. He is more than legend.
Lucky you know the Epic of Barren Falls, I gather. You're smarter than you look, and smell.
Source Hunter, you have done it, haven't you? You've discovered the fate of Counselor Jake. By the gods, no one could have predicted such a dark turn of events. This is worse than mine. Forgive me, this news just so very upsetting. I do. I do indeed. Brachus, the possibility of his return is more than I can bear. And there have long been rumors that Brachus's corpse was interred in the vaults beneath the abandoned Church of the Seven in Sicil's eastern hinterland. That place is crawling with undead these days. Come to think of it, did anyone in Evelyn's lair mention the name? It's nothing, Hunter. Nothing. She is a great woman, Hunter. a champion of all that is good and pure. She may have killed Jake, but then again, the man turned out to be a vile. I can only surmise that she is on to her sister's sinister schemes. Leandra. I know her, though I haven't seen her. She's as smart as... Now, you said Jake... There's a village in the... This village is called Silverglen. And, alas, I haven't the fault. The Legion didn't find... And I will see...
Brachus Rex's name alone is enough to turn our friendly neighborhood.
And so the mystery is solved. Inspector spooks him so. Arhu doesn't strike me as the type to scare very easily.
Then we know what we must...
Agreed. If...
May the pain wrought by sword and she dabbled the true necromancer. It is life he wants to command. Immortality. Achieve this, and the screams of agony will not have thundered forth from tortured You keep your minds on a tight... What is glory be this? So now to pursue...